so what does all of this mean to us here in the U.S.? Middle East expert Christopher Hinn here tonight to talk more about this. Christopher, it's obviously been in headlines for weeks now. Even a Nobel Peace Laureate coming out saying Egypt will, quote, explode after Mubarak refused to step down. Do you think that's about to happen, or will the president finally listen to what the people claim that they really want?
Well, he handed the power, but not fully. He still has the role of a president. He still controls the Constitution. He still controls the Congress, the House. He still controls the ministers. So he has not handed that. He has not relinquished that power totally to the vice president. So he's still in control pretty much of that area. So unless he changes the Constitution, and that's what's going to make the change. Right. So
it's a false change, and in that sense, can it be more dangerous, to sort of act like you're conceding and then say, well, not totally.
Sonny, one of the things he did do, he met with the Minister of Interior, Antawi, and he actually gave him charge of the military. That's an interesting point, because now the military can rule on its own. He's no longer the commander-in-chief of the military.
Right. And there are questions now, now that you mentioned the military, what side, when they do come out to keep the peace, which, needless to say, they probably will in the near future, whose side are they on? Just last week, they were allegedly killing and injuring protesters. So whose side do they take now?
You got to be careful. It was not the military. It was a division of the military that protected Mubarak. And that's the military division that you're going to see the clash between the army and the military if this to happen. So you will see the military come up against each other, technically.
It's actually has the potential to be quite terrifying. We want to ask you this too, Christopher. There's a lot of talk about the Muslim Brotherhood. A lot of Americans not familiar with who that group is, what they represent, and frankly, if we as Americans should be scared.
Well, 2-3 weeks ago, no one knew of the Muslim Brotherhood. Honestly, I think we've given them too much credit. If you look at 2005, their vote was only 20%. Of the election back then.
Are they a radical group, Christopher?
Well, I don't think I can comment on that, but I can tell you that they're a very religious, fundamentalist group. Yes, radical depends on how you describe radical. I describe it different.
Right. Okay. Well, we certainly look forward to seeing what happens. Obviously, safety being the top priority there. Christopher Hinn, Middle East expert. Thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you, Sonny.